The set of love and hip-hop, Atlanta turned into a war zone when rapper 24 Hours stormed into filming, shouting across the room and throwing the entire cast into panic. What was supposed to be a calm reconciliation scene between Scrappy, Lil Zane, and Salma instantly exploded into pure chaos. Cameras rolling, producers yelling, and cast members trying to break up a fight that nobody saw coming. 24hrs voice cut through the noise, trembling with rage. "You knew about her? Both of y'all did." Scrappy tried to stay cool, but the tension in his jaw said it all. Lil Zane froze, glancing at Salma, the woman at the center of it all, as she sat in stunned silence. Fans who were on set that night said you could feel the energy shift the second 24 Hours walked in. He wasn't there for clout, he came with receipts. He pulled out his phone, yelling, "You think I didn't know what was going on behind my back? You think I'm stupid?" The entire cast went dead silent. Even Mona Scott, watching from behind the monitors, looked like she didn't know whether to keep rolling or call security by the time producers stepped in. Chairs had flipped, a table was cracked, and Salma was in tears. But the biggest shock came when 24 Hours dropped one line that sent the entire room spinning. "Scrappy, she wasn't the only one you were lying to, and I got proof." The cameras had barely started rolling when the tension in the studio hit its peak. Love and hip-hop. Atlanta Season 13 was already shaping up to be explosive. But nobody, not even Mona Scott, could have predicted the chaos that was about to unfold between 24 Hours, Scrappy, Lil Zane, and Salma. It all started with a production leak whispers spreading online that Salma had secretly been involved with both Scrappy and Lil Zane while still keeping a situationship going with 24 Hours. The rumor started as simple fan gossip but picked up traction when someone from the crew allegedly leaked text screenshots to a gossip page. By the time the cast gathered to film, the story had gone viral. And 24 Hours was furious. When 24 Hours arrived on set, the atmosphere immediately shifted. He didn't greet anyone, didn't take his mic quietly, he came in storming. Scrappy was sitting at the table with Zane, laughing about something. But the laughter died the second 24 Hours slammed his phone down on the table. "You think this is funny?" he barked. "You really think I wouldn't find out about Salma?" Scrappy looked stunned, blinking fast. "What are you talking about, bro? Ain't nobody don't bro me." 24 Hours snapped, cutting him off. "You and Zane both knew. Y'all were smiling in my face, calling me family, and the whole time she was sneaking around with y'all." The room fell into stunned silence. Cameras zoomed in, producers froze, and even Salma's expression shifted from shock to guilt. She opened her mouth to say something, but 24 Hours turned on her before she could speak. "You told me it was over with him," he shouted, pointing at Zane. "You swore you were done." Lil Zane leaned back, shaking his head slowly. "Look, man, I didn't even know y'all were that serious." "She never said you're lying," 24 Hours interrupted. "You knew exactly what it was. Don't play stupid now." Salma finally stood up, her voice breaking. "You don't understand, 24. Things just got messy, okay? Nobody planned it." He slammed his hand against the table, making everyone jump. "Messy? Nah, this wasn't messy. This was calculated. You had me out here defending you, protecting your name online, while you were in my house lying to my face." The crew started moving closer, sensing that the argument was about to spiral out of control. Scrappy stood up, trying to act like the peacemaker. Yo, calm down, man. This ain't the time or the place." 24 Hours turned toward him, eyes blazing. "Calm down. You were one of the ones smiling in my face too, Scrappy. Don't try to play neutral now. You knew what was going on. You were the first one to tell me she was just your homegirl. Don't lie." Scrappy's face went cold. "Watch how you talk to me, dog," he said quietly, his tone low and dangerous. "You not gonna disrespect me on camera like that." The two men squared up, chest to chest, while security rushed in. The producers yelled for everyone to sit down, but neither man was listening. 24 Hours kept shouting over the guards, his voice echoing across the set. Y'all ain't real. You call yourselves men, but you move like snakes. Lil Zane stood in the corner, silent now, his hand rubbing his face. He looked more embarrassed than angry, but his silence said everything. He had known, and now the entire world would see it, as Salma covered her face. Crying, Mona's voice came through the headset, sharp and tense. Keep rolling. Don't cut the cameras. This is real. Security eventually separated the men, but 24 hours wasn't done. You think I came here without proof? He shouted, holding up his phone again. I got videos, messages, all of it. And when they air this, everyone's gonna know exactly what kind of people y'all are. The entire cast looked stunned. Even Erica and Bambi, watching from the sidelines, whispered to each other, this just blew the whole season open. Producers tried to calm things down, but the damage was already done. Scrappy was furious, Zane was exposed, and Salma's reputation was in shambles. As the scene ended, 24 hours stormed off the set, his mic still on. His final words echoed through the production hall. I'm done with fake love and fake friends. I told y'all, I don't play about loyalty, and y'all just proved why nobody in this game can be trusted. The camera cut. But the drama didn't stop there, because once that clip leaked online, love and hip-hop, Atlanta Season 13 wasn't just trending. It was burning hot as the night went on. Tensions inside that Atlanta mansion hit a breaking point. The cameras kept rolling, capturing every scream, every glare. Every secret that had been simmering under the surface for months. 24 hours stood in the middle of the chaos, his voice echoing through the room. Y'all lied to my face. Both of you. He shouted, pointing between Scrappy and Lil Zane. Scrappy tried to stay calm, but his hands were shaking. Man, it ain't even like that. He yelled back, pacing back and forth, his chains swinging as he tried to keep control. You out here acting like I planned this whole thing, but 24 hours wasn't hearing it. He stepped forward, inches away from Scrappy's face. You knew what was going on with Salma. Don't act brand new now. You were part of it. Both of you. Lil Zane leaned against the wall, quiet at first, but the pressure got to him. He threw his hands up. I ain't got nothing to hide. Yeah, I knew about Salma, but I wasn't gonna be the one to bring that up on camera. That's your girl, bro. The moment those words left his mouth, everyone froze. 24 hours, eyes widened. My girl. You mean my ex? Because of y'all? He screamed. Producers rushed in, trying to calm them down, but it was too late. Yandi, Rashida, and Erica Mina, who were all watching from the sidelines, looked completely stunned. The situation had gone from drama to full-blown mayhem. Yandi whispered to Erica, this ain't even about Salma anymore. This is betrayal on every level. But things got darker when someone from production whispered something to 24 hours. His face went pale. What did you just say? He asked. The producer hesitated, then repeated, there's footage. It's 24 security cam footage from that night at the studio. It shows Scrappy talking to Salma before you got there. The room went silent. Scrappy's face dropped, realizing the weight of what was just said. Yo, don't do this, he muttered under his breath. But it was too late. 24 hours was already storming toward the monitors. Play it, he demanded. Play the footage. When the video rolled, the tension hit a new level. The clip showed Scrappy sitting in the studio lounge, leaning close to Salma, whispering something that made her smile. Then, out of nowhere, Salma reached over and touched his arm, laughing softly. The crowd in the room gasped. 24 hours stood frozen, staring at the screen, his jaw tight. Staring at the screen, his jaw tight. Bro, that's not what it looks like, Scrappy tried to explain, his voice cracking. She came to me for advice. But 24 hours wasn't buying it. Advice? You're telling me she was just asking for advice when she's sitting there giggling with you like that? You betrayed me, man. Lil Zane stepped in, trying to calm things down, but 24 hours turned on him too. And you don't even start. You sat there knowing all of this and said nothing. You played both sides. Lil Zane shook his head, but 24 hours kept going. You think this is a game? This is my real life. I trusted both of y'all, and now the whole world's about to see what y'all did behind my back." In that moment, Mendices, who had just walked into the set, looked around at the chaos and shook his head. "This is exactly what Mona wanted," he said under his breath. "She feeds on this drama." Rashida turned to him. "You think this is her doing?" Mendices nodded. "Man, these storylines don't just happen. Someone told production about that footage. Someone wanted 24 to explode tonight." Back near the cameras, security was called as Scrappy, and 24 hours got chest to chest. Voices were raised, chairs got pushed, and producers started shouting, "Cut, cut!" But neither of them was backing down. "You don't mess with someone's peace. Scrappy?" 24 hours yelled, his voice cracking with emotion. "You don't play with people's loyalty." Scrappy's voice boomed back. "You act like you the only one hurt. You think I wanted this mess? I ain't the bad guy here, man. You just can't handle the truth." The argument spilled outside the house with the entire crew following. Lights flashed, cameras zoomed in, and fans who had gathered nearby started recording on their phones. It was pure chaos. Just when it seemed like things might cool down, Salma's name started trending online. Someone had leaked a clip of the confrontation, showing 24 hours shouting, "You knew about Salma," while Scrappy looked cornered. The internet went crazy. Some fans blamed Scrappy for betraying his friend, while others said 24 hours was overreacting. Back in the mansion, Lil Zane quietly pulled Scrappy aside. "Bro, we need to talk off camera," he whispered. But Scrappy shook his head. "Nah, it's too late for that. Cameras already got what they needed. Ain't no going back now." As the night faded into early morning, the cast was ordered to take a break from filming. But the damage was already done. Trust was broken, alliances were destroyed. And the producers knew they had just captured one of the most explosive moments in love and hip-hop Atlanta history. Little did they know, though, the situation was far from over, because 24 hours was about to make a move that would shake the entire show to its core. By the time the sun rose over Atlanta, the entire internet was on fire. Clips of 24 hours confronting Scrappy and Lil Zane had gone viral overnight. Kara, what was meant to be a private meltdown, into national entertainment. Every gossip page from the Shade Room to Hollywood Unlocked was running the footage, and fans were dissecting every word, every look, every breath. But behind all the noise, 24 hours wasn't done. He had been quiet for hours too quiet. That's when Mendices and Yandi realized something was about to happen. 24 hours had sent a cryptic message in the cast group chat. "Since y'all love footage so much, let's drop a LL of it." Moments later, a private Instagram account under his team's name posted a 2-minute clip, edited, raw, and damning. It showed Scrappy and Salma alone in a hotel lobby weeks before the confrontation. Scrappy had his arm around her, and they were laughing like they didn't have a care in the world. The sound wasn't clear, but the visual was enough to destroy reputations. Within minutes, fans went into a frenzy. Scrappy and Salma, behind 24's back, flooded the comments. The post hit 1 million views in under 30 minutes. Producers were calling everyone, demanding the video be deleted, but it was too late. It had already been screen recorded, reposted, and downloaded across social media. Back at the mansion, Yandi was pacing the floor. "This ain't TV anymore," she said, looking panicked. "This is real life unraveling on camera." Mendices sighed, shaking his head. "I tried to tell them. Once you bring real feelings into the storyline, it stops being entertainment." Scrappy, meanwhile, was losing it. He slammed his phone down after watching the clip. "Man, I didn't even sleep with her. Why everyone acting like it's some big scandal?" But even he knew the optics were bad. His public image, his deals. Everything he'd built since his comeback on Love and Hip Hop was now in jeopardy. Then came the twist no one saw coming. Salma herself went live. Her voice trembled as she spoke. "I didn't mean for it to get this far," she began. "But I'm tired of being dragged for something everyone else was involved in. There were messages, yes, but I wasn't the only one lying. Her eyes filled with tears as she looked straight into the camera. "Scrappy, tell them about Sierra. Tell them about what really happened the night before we filmed." The live exploded. Over 200,000 people were tuned in, commenting in real time. "Wait, Sierra? She's bringing other names in now." The whole internet froze. Within minutes, Sierra posted her own cryptic message: "Don't speak on me if you ain't ready for receipts." The comments section turned into chaos. And suddenly, this story had three sides: 24 hours betrayal, Scrappy's secrets, and Sierra's alleged involvement. Mona Scott and the producers were scrambling behind the scenes, realizing this storyline had spiraled beyond control. Meanwhile, 24 Hours showed up at production headquarters with his team, demanding that all footage involving him, Scrappy, and Salma be pulled from the upcoming episode. "I ain't letting y'all play with my name anymore," he shouted. "Y'all want drama? Fine, but not at my expense." One of the execs tried to reason with him. 24, the audience loves you. This storyline's powerful. Let us manage it. But 24 Hours wasn't hearing it. "You managed me into a public breakdown," he said coldly before walking out. Later that day, Scrappy went live to do damage control. "Look, man," he said, clearly frustrated. "People gon' believe what they want to believe. I ain't mess with Salma, period. I was trying to help her, that's all. But y'all keep twisting stuff." But the comments weren't sympathetic. Fans flooded his chat with snake emojis and broken heart reactions in a twist of irony. Lil Zane, the quiet one in the middle of it all, ended up being the one who came out looking like the peacemaker. He posted, "Loyalty don't mean silence. Sometimes speaking the truth saves everyone." The caption went viral, and people started calling him the only real one in the situation. Backstage, Yandi tried to mediate between 24 Hours and Scrappy before the next day of filming. "Y'all got history. Y'all got respect," she told them. "Don't let one misunderstanding destroy it." But 24 Hours wasn't moved. "It wasn't one misunderstanding," he replied quietly. "It was months of lies, months of playing in my face." As cameras started rolling again, producers captured the most emotional moment of the entire season. 24 Hours sat down in a one-on-one interview, tears in his eyes. "You know what hurts most?" he said softly. "It's not even what they did. It's how easy it was for them to hide it. Makes you realize fame don't bring loyalty. It just exposes who never had it." The screen faded to black as his words echoed, setting up the next episode perfectly. The credits rolled, but fans knew the real drama was far from over because Sierra was about to drop her own receipts live that night. And when she did, the truth that came out didn't just expose Scrappy or Salma. It tore apart the entire cast's friendships, forcing everyone to pick sides in the messiest love and hip-hop war Atlanta had ever seen. The world was watching, and this time, not even Mona Scott could control the chaos she'd created. This love and hip-hop Atlanta scandal just keeps getting wilder, and it's clear the drama's nowhere near done. Sierra's about to drop her so-called proof. 24 Hours is threatening to quit the show altogether, and Scrappy's career might be hanging by a thread. Fans are already calling this the most explosive season in the show's entire history. And the tension between these cast members could easily spill into real life. Do you think 24 Hours was right to expose Scrappy publicly? Or did he just make things worse by bringing the internet into it? And what about Salma? Was she the villain here? Or just another pawn in Mona Scott's drama machine? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this story is far from over. More secrets, more confrontations, and even more shocking footage are coming. If you thought this was the peak of love and hip-hop chaos, trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and make sure your notifications are on. Okay? The next chapter in this saga is going to change everything.